Hey guys, so this video is mostly a video talking about what I would do to change up the what if scenario that I had created so long ago. Heck, it's practically the one of the first few videos that have basically begun my channel. So yeah, for context, you might want to watch part one, but beware, it may be a tad cringy back then. For the most part, I definitely would like to. I definitely mention that yes, if I was to continue this, what if I may continue off of for what possibly could be the new canon of this what if, because I will admit there are certain elements to this that I probably should have not added or didn't need or whatnot. So, with this, I actually would like to introduce it to alternative scenarios. But before we get into that, I definitely would like to point out some things that are definitely not needed. Apologies in advance if my editing is probably a tad choppy or whatnot, but please bear with me. So, first things first, the Dragon Ball portion of the what if that I will admit I definitely could have used a lot of free work into, considering how much I may have either botched it, overplayed it, etc., etc. And of course, introduce elements that I basically threw away. Instead of exploring a bit more. Or maybe shouldn't have included at all if that was the direction I was going to take it. What I mean by that is that I definitely shouldn't have included Broly if I didn't have plans for him to begin with. So basically what I'm going to suggest, and yes, I know this is going to still sound like a load of crap, but I'm probably going to throw in the ideal suggestion that, well, Broly and Paragus die on planet Valpa because of either the planet exploding or whatnot. I don't know. What it may seem more justifiable, to say the least. The reason why I'm suggesting that is because, well, one of the few criticisms of the what if, or at least this what if has gone through, is the fact that Broly got included, but basically got killed off by Demon King Piccolo. To which I will have to admit, back then I had no idea why I did that. But I don't know. I guess it's probably because back then I wanted to have less characters to worry about in this what if. But it is what it is. In addition to what I say about the Dragon Ball portion of the what if, I kind of also want to emphasize that I will keep the majority of those who would be sea fighters dead because, well, I just thought it would make more sense considering that, hey, Vegeta learned all he needed to learn from the Turtle Hermit school, and of course, thinking that he probably doesn't need them again. And to those who say that may be cruel, well, just remember who we're talking about here. But, however, in this what if, I like to think that he still builds up and realizes that, hey, his actions still have consequences, no matter what the case may be. That being also said, however, yes, this means that during the Dragon Ball portions, I will keep Vegeta's cruel demeanor towards villains in the Dragon Ball franchise. Because, yes, this is something that the Vegeta will probably do in his earlier life, but considering that, hey, he may not be under Frieza's rule, but he's still we need to learn that, yes, these are people who are essentially weaker than him. and basically would just basically shift a lot of people off to the sides, like Yamcha, Tien, etc. And I guess to top it off, I definitely could have done a better job but having Vegeta realize that, yeah, what he is doing is kind of immoral and whatnot. Granted, I tried doing that in like, basically, yeah, I can't remember which part it was, but it had something to do with the rabbit cane or monster character or whatnot. But yeah, I definitely could have done a better job handling that. And to those who are definitely mad that I didn't handle it well, I apologize. It was my first what if, but bygones be bygones. But I guess at the end of it, I guess Piccolo could be the ultimate culmination of everything that Vegeta learned up to in Dragon Ball, and realizes that yep, if he was to keep going down the road that he could have gone down, he definitely would be, one, alone, and two, there would be just no one there. And hey, could you honestly blame Vegeta not wanting to live a life of solitude alone and whatnot, especially at a young age, considering how Vegeta's life originally went in the original mainline series? So yeah, with that being said, we'll just say that for the new canon, that yeah, Vegeta had a interesting journey, but being told in a better light and whatnot. If you guys have any better suggestions than ideas on how it could have been rewritten better, please feel free to tell me in the comments down below. But only if you guys sat down and listen to it. But to those who don't, because of how cringy I was at the beginning of it, well, I personally wouldn't blame you. But hey, old videos be old videos and whatnot. So let's move on to alternative stories, or the alternative story paths that I came up with, and basically, take place at the beginning of Z, going all the way up to Super, where supposedly the two alternative scenarios for this what if that I came up with are definitely scenarios that I had plans to begin with, but ultimately did not go through with. But that changes today, because one of these will be canon, and of course, will be up to you guys if you guys like either one. Although saying that, while my audience is probably still relatively small, is, well, not saying much. So ultimately, I'll have to pick it. But moving on. So alternative motive number one. The first alternative path for Vegeta that I would pick in would be the Lone Saiyan route, which in this case would be something like this. After where the events of the King Piccolo, and before going into what the battle against Piccolo Jr., where this happens, so where Vegeta suddenly has suddenly has this idea that he must be the only Saiyan alive, and only Saiyan only, and decides to not have any descendants. How that would happen would be mostly due to a wish by the Dragon Balls giving, well, Vegeta kind of a weird way of saying that. Excuse me. Basically, giving Vegeta a vasectomy. Basically, giving Vegeta a weird. Oh, for goodness sake! I can't believe I'm actually suggesting that. Anyways, you guys get the idea. He uses the wish so that Vegeta won't be able to, what be able to create descendants of his. So yeah, there's that. So yes, this means that no Trunks, no Bola, just Vegeta, and only Vegeta. And already I can hear you guys saying, but Exo, if Vegeta's the only Saiyan alive, then what about the Nappa and Raditz? Wouldn't they still be a great deal of a problem? Well, to answer that, yes. Yes, it still would be. Yeah, and of course, when the Saiyan Saga eventually does hit, Vegeta would still battle Raditz and Alpha Raditz, because Raditz would try to persist Vegeta to join him and go to the Frieza Force. Vegeta would still eventually get the train to go to the get the train from King Kai to go Kaioken, and of course Nappa would still eventually show up using Cyberman instead of how it originally went, which had Paragus in it, because he wanted to eventually get the sun, etc., etc. So, yeah, by the time the Saiyan Saga would eventually end, yeah, at that point Vegeta would be the only Saiyan left. And yes, that would still, or at least that's the moment when he finally finishes Nappa, it would definitely hit Vegeta like a freight train that now he is definitely the last. As far as the motivations of going to Namek are concerned, well, we'll just say that yes, Piccolo still gets off because the combination power of the Cyberman and Nappa might have been too much for Nappa to handle. With the aftermath of the Saiyan Saga already coming to play of what will come to pass, which would bring us to the Namek/Frieza Saga going inbound, because hey, you gotta bring out that saga somehow. So of course, so Vegeta and Bulma will go to Namek to get Piccolo back and all that fun stuff. Yeah. And as far as the idea of Vegeta and Bulma getting the Dragon Balls in hopes that they can still be Frieza to the curve, but it's still it still gets kind of dicey. Yeah, and of course, with Frieza now 100% aware that there is at least one last Saiyan alive in the form of the surviving prince of the very same race that he very well was trying to off. You can definitely bet that Frieza's going to do everything in his power to make sure that he stays dead this time. With the usual of Zarbon, Dodoria, and eventually the Ginyu Force coming into play. But ultimately, Vegeta does get the upper hand because of, one, the training that he had with getting Kaioken. And I imagine Vegeta would have eventually met good old Guru to have his potential unlocked that is deep down within Vegeta. It eventually will come to a head where Frieza finally clashes with Vegeta. And yes, I will admit that the one thing I'm definitely going to keep is the fact that it takes Bulma's death to really get Vegeta up to Super Saiyan, because, well, it ultimately makes sense in the long run, since Bulma's basically been there since Vegeta's journey, well, when they first met anyway, for the quest for the Dragon Balls, to which it does end with Vegeta getting the win, and everything ends something nicely nicely made bow and whatnot. And yes, I still will include Vegeta's trip to Yardrat, where he basically learns all that he can learn from the Yardratians, from healing to instant transmission, etc. And to also come back to Earth to deal with the or at least upon reflection, I don't remember if I included Mecha Freeze and King Cold in this. Oh wait, yeah, I did. So yeah, Vegeta would definitely return in time to deal with that problem. But albeit, I think it's only King Cold because I imagine Vegeta would definitely make sure that hey, for Risa's gotta stay dead this time. But nothing of him must remain. So yeah, as soon as King Cold dies, then eventually, we would get something very interesting from this What If in particular, where that would be future Bulma coming back to the past to warn Vegeta about the androids, which will probably be a unique thing about this scenario. Why should this be the canon side of things? But anyways, canonicity aside, so yes, we'll still have the 3 years where Vegeta ups himself, but a bit more, and considering that the only training partner he has would be Piccolo, so hey, it still goes pretty smooth and well for the most part, and yeah, there is just no way that things could get. Whoa, wait, you're probably gonna remind me of the heart virus. Well, because the Bulma definitely make sure that it is eventually given to Vegeta. I definitely would say that Vegeta still takes the heart virus medicine, and of course that things go smoothly, and of course we get Vegeta dominating the field, and of course we still get Vegeta destroying 19 and 20. Yeah, with so much ease. Too much ease, I might say. So, well, yes. Eventually, we do get the future Bulma to return, trying to figure out where the other androids could be, because, well, there's just no way. It could have been that easy. But Vegeta would ensure future Bulma that, hey, it's all good, it's easy. But eventually, word would get out that the Cell exists, and of course, Cell being Cell, I imagine he would have found the lab, got the androids, and of course, made his presence known to an even dangerous proportions. And yes, I'm definitely still keeping the idea that Cell also absorbs 16. But let's up the stakes a bit and say that the Cell basically takes up every android unit that may or may not exist in the lab, but just for that extra oomph of power, because why not? We're all about the power scale here. Scaling, I meant. To which we still get the good old Vegeta Shuri in the hyperbolic time chamber, or in at least the equivalent of, let's see, it's one. Let's just say that Vegeta gets maybe 3 different times that he goes into the hyperbolic time chamber, where because you gotta take a break or so before you get destroyed mentally and whatnot. And of course, that day would come where we get to the Cell tournament, and of course, Vegeta and Piccolo would be the only line of defense. And eventually the battle would finally draw to Vegeta to unleash a power that goes beyond the usual Super Saiyan level that he possesses. into Super Saiyan 2. What? Because okay, we still would have to build up Super Saiyan 2, but ultimately, yeah, it would be this transformation that would be Cell's undoing as Vegeta alongside Piccolo this time would basically blast Cell into nothing. Well, nothing but atoms in this case. Of course, this would also mean that we get 7 years of peace before we hit to the Majin Saga. And of course, so we are introduced to Shin and his assistant, leading to a lot of interesting events that would definitely go down. And as far as the possibility of either getting Vegeta or Piccolo, mind controls, well, unfortunately, that is probably not going to happen. But for the sake of suspense, so we'll just say, with the Deborah and every other helper that Babidi has, they managed to fend off Vegeta and Piccolo just long enough to revive Majin Buu. And of course, troubles and antics ensue. It would definitely be too much for Piccolo and Vegeta to handle, so they would have to make a hasty retreat because it really has come to their attention that they really need to up their game. So heck, even with the Super Saiyan 3 transformation that Vegeta learned over the years, proves to be effective, but not enough. But so this would definitely lead to them needing to train more. Or however, with Shin, in this case, and this is probably of our worry, definitely give Piccolo some interesting idea that hey, Piccolo could definitely use a sword, and so we get the segment with the DSC sword, where instead of Gohan, we have Piccolo, and of course, sword breaks, Elder Kai comes out, and eventually, we get the ultimate Piccolo. So Piccolo has ultimate power, and I suppose to top it off, we do we give Piccolo was sort of a Kaioken booster and whatnot, because he may have missed out the opportunity to have his potential unlocked by good old Guru, but Kaioken and having this ultimate power from the Kais, well, that's definitely a win-win right there. So, but with the good old with the good old help from the Kais, they get their rematch. But unfortunately, Super Buu would still be a thing, and of course, Vegeta would still have problems. And this is probably the part that I'm going to admit that yes, I am using older assets for my what if, but because I found it interesting, I'm going to include it anyways. So you guys can definitely let me know if this is dumb or not, but I digress. Vegeta would still get into Super Saiyan 4 because, well, Vegeta would definitely be exerting all that power, for sure. So, all is well. When we get Vegeta going Super Saiyan 4, and with a combined power of that and the Piccolo, where Super Buu would definitely be destroyed within a matter of minutes. And of course, peacetime would be ensured. That is until good old Beerus decides to show up and bring out the Super Saiyan God. That is sort of still new to Vegeta, but hey, Super Saiyan 4, where it kind of felt godly, but no, it is not Super Saiyan God still, despite that. Also, I just want to point out that I ultimately did forget to mention this, but during the Android saga, so good old Piccolo did fuse with Kami. Yeah, yeah, but because it is essentially the norm, but I definitely would have, but I definitely would have assumed that you guys get it, but needed to say it just in case, because sometimes it definitely needs to be mentioned. So I digress with the power scaling there below. But because originally there is no Majin to basically take away Beerus's pudding, all still seems to go well. But we're not getting off that easy. Yeah, just because Beerus is in a good mood doesn't mean he's not gonna stop. But again, what he came for, which was Super Saiyan God. To which, yes, Dragon Balls were used. We discover Super Saiyan God, and of course, the big question would be, well, where are we gonna get 5 Saiyans? Like, excuse me. Well, last I checked, there's only one Saiyan. I hear you guys saying down in the comments. Well, that's the beauty of making these what ifs, ladies and gentlemen, because thanks to the afterlife having a good number of Saiyans, I decided to yes, include Vegeta's family, but also his bloodline, to really help get the Super Saiyan God transformation up and running. And of course, Vegeta would still have his very impactful moment to finally seeing his family again after we're being away from everything that made him a Saiyan for so long. And of course, remembering what it means to be a Saiyan and whatnot. To which his father would definitely say that, well, mother and father would definitely say that they are definitely proud of him for the man that he has become, and that all the Saiyans in the afterlife will definitely be rooting for him. Beerus would still get his fight with Vegeta in the Super Saiyan God transformation, and all's well that ends well. And of course, going into Resurrection F, but we still have all the necessary build-up going into it, with Vegeta getting training to further his Super Saiyan God power. We're going into Super Saiyan Blue, and of course the Dragon Ball is being used to resurrect Frieza. And of course, Piccolo would definitely be the only person to deal with the Frieza's army, and so on and so forth. And of course, this part of the What If would not be complete without the rematch of the century, with Vegeta taking everything he's learned about his new Super Saiyan God power, Frieza with his golden form. It still will be a awesome battle to witness. Or at least I like to think anyway. Yeah. And no, we are not including any laser shots from any of Frieza's goons. Thank you very much. Because that will be a very bad cop-out, if anything. If anything, I would argue that Piccolo would have taken the laser shot for Vegeta, motivating Vegeta that, you know what, this is still the same Frieza who's basically leading these men to do all these things, so up the ante, going nuts on Frieza, and of course not giving Frieza the opportunity to blow up Earth. Thank you. And of course, it all ends with a good old final flash setting for Frieza and everything he owns up into space and into space dust. And of course, peace was brought upon once more, as if it's ever going to last at all, even past Vegeta's time, assuming otherwise. But enough of that. We come across now a saga where we definitely would get the question. Wait, if a minute, this saga's gonna require we're up to 5 fighters. How the heck are we going to fix this problem? And that problem would be the fight between Universe 7 and 6 for Earth. Well, in this case, the Super Dragon Ball. But basically that. In this general sense. I mean, we got Vegeta and Piccolo. But who? What could we possibly bring in a desperate time? I mean, it's not like we can just find other fight. Wait a second. Vegeta then gets an idea. He remembers King Kai, and starts asking Kai if is a possibility that hey, maybe we can get some fighters from the other side to go and give them a hand. King Kai obviously yells at Vegeta for never calling for anything other than just stuff for training and whatnot. But at the end of the day, understands the situation. And of course, we get 3 fighters. From the other world, we have the following. Paikon, Olibu, sorry if I butchered that name. And of course, Nijorin. I'm sure I said that name right. Anyways, so with those fighters picked out, we definitely avoid the need for getting Beerus's postal service man involved. And of course, with the additions added to the with the team, but we get the tournament between Universe 6 and 7. For the most part, the Major and Olibu and Paikon definitely hold their own. Mostly. Yeah. I mean, when you're an undead fighter, you tend to forget that, hey, these guys maybe very dangerous and possibly more, well, probably more dangerously powerful. But all in all, at least it's Paikon who basically gets the team all the way up to hit. And of course, Paikon gets beat by hit. Then out next would be Piccolo, who definitely learned a bit and noticed the hits and his actions, but still gets beat, leading up to Vegeta being the last man standing for Universe 7, and of course the fight gives the fight in this case would definitely be in Vegeta's favor, because it had to deal with the 3 powerful fighters, and of course it would definitely be Super Saiyan Blue, and for this case I'm going to say Super Saiyan evolved, because I imagine the training that he would be having with Whis, with an addition of Beerus. Yes, I'm including Beerus in Vegeta's training, because hey, if you're going to train the last Saiyan, no, why not, alright? This one might have the potential to do something pretty crazy in the future. And trust me, we will get to crazy soon. But of course, we have the usual suspect of good old Omni King showing up, making his presence known, and is possibly entertained by the idea of hosting another tournament in the near future. Hooray! But all in all, Universe 7 is back to normal again for now. And unfortunately, I still have to say that there will be no Vegeta Blackguard in this as will be for the other second scenario that I am definitely going to, well, say. Mostly because I just can't see this version of Vegeta going down that route, or at least the route that originally inspired how what Goku Black happened. So with that out of the way, we are down to the last arc, and oh boy, we are down to the Tournament of Power arc, and of course we have to pick 10 fighters, and it just happens to be another conundrum that easily gets solved with the help of King Kai, which before this, Vegeta would definitely take King Kai's word and visit on the weekends. I mean, come on, you gotta stay up to what date with your bros, pal. So with that in mind, we definitely gain the knowledge of more fighters as time goes by. However, we're with the word of mouth saying that we are gonna get more universes involved. It's starting to crack down on Vegeta that maybe if maybe this tournament's the chance to really prove himself. But unfortunately, unfortunate for Vegeta, Vegeta is coming to realize, especially when all the universes meet up at one point in time, Vegeta starts to realize that this might be the last tournament that he may get involved with, but to ultimately realize that he can't let it all end here. Not when the risk of losing that means the end of the universe. So upon asking King Kai to would deal with selecting the fighters again to help out Universe 7, Vegeta goes into the hyperbolic time chamber alone to up his power once again without the urge to break the chamber, and spends whatever time he can spare into the training to get back up there, which basically in this case takes another year of his life. And of course Vegeta still breaks realizing that this tournament, if he can't win, it's over. And of course Bulma still comforts him like the wonderful wife that she is, and so on. And with that, and by the time we get to what more fighters being added, and as mentioned before, we have Pycon, Olebu, Nijoran, Aquaria, Tabuchi, Tapkar, Torabi, and Fruki. I think I said those names right, but I could be wrong. So, name butchering aside, the universe set, or the Tournament of Power, would have two different groups as far as Universe 7 goes. The ones who are basically dead and from the other world, and of course Vegeta Piccolo. But the ones from the other world that would be dealing with the other contenders of the other universes, and of course Vegeta Piccolo would handle Universe 6, because, well, Universe 6 is basically the Universe 7's rival, so why not? So, yep. we definitely have, we would definitely still have that. But by the end of the fight, while Vegeta's still in the tournament, the Piccolo would still be outed, for sure. And of course, so we would get to possibly one of my favorite parts of writing this what if, which is basically Vegeta versus the entirety of the Pride Troopers, dealing with the entirety of Universe 11 by himself. Vegeta would definitely handle all of the Pride Troopers one by one. And of course, pushing the power with everything he has, with Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, and the Kaioken. And sheesh, it definitely would still be pretty brutal with Vegeta. But at the end of it all, it still will come down to what the last man standing, that kind of thing. But the Jiren and Vegeta still love fighting their hearts out. Well, Jiren at first beating the living pulp out of Vegeta because during the fight Vegeta still would be pretty whipped out from all the power that he is exuded from, and of course Bulma being utterly terrified of the beating that Vegeta's taken. And of course, so before Jiren has a chance to eliminate Vegeta, or at least when he thinks he finally has that opportunity, Vegeta goes into Ultra Instinct, and and of course, because this is the time when this form finally got written up, not only do we get Ultra Instinct, but also Ultra Ego. And this is probably the part where you start to ask, wait, what? So apparently, this what if it was written before where the now confirmed the Ultra Ego, which was given to Vegeta, which came to be because of the training with Beerus, at least according to what I can remember and what I've heard. And basically, because in this what if he is training with both Whis and Beerus, I kind of wanted to give Vegeta both, because last I checked, it's a form both that can definitely be earned with enough training. And because Vegeta's at that brink, I would like to think that both of these were a thing, and Vegeta can basically combine them. Or at least, we'll definitely get into theoretical power scaling another time, but for now, it is beautiful. Or at least the transformation itself will be rather beautiful. And of course, this would definitely shift the battle to Vegeta taking the upper hand and winning the Tournament of Power. And of course, with the wish of all the universes that have died to combine into one universe, so to speak. And of course, still get that sweet ending with Bulma and Vegeta looking off into the sunset as the fighters from the other world go back to the afterlife. That being said, and that was literally scenario 1, to which, it's definitely, you got less characters, kinda my main objective throughout this what if, but to use less characters as possible, but I digress. However, in scenario 2, that kind of goes out the window, at least a bit, and it kind of goes outworldly. And of course, scenario 2, well, I don't really have a code name for it, so we'll just say scenario 2. And roll off of that. And of course, this second scenario will actually begin during the Android saga. Because to some who may have noticed that Trunks actually took a liking to the androids, especially a android who just happens to have the number 18, because that boy was going through puberty. And trust me, puberty can be quite questioning. And instead of the wish where Vegeta doesn't have can't have descendants, well, this scenario still lets Vegeta have Trunks and Bola in this case, because Bola was kind of born after the fact of the Frieza saga, but I digress. So going off of that, we still get the Cell saga, which just still happens. Everything that happens in the Cell saga still happens, and so on and so forth. Only this time, we still get to keep the androids. Those androids being 16, 17, 18, and of course, just because we haven't had enough androids, Android 13, because we like to have fun. And of course, we get to still keep the version of Cell that was inside a giant jar. That eventually the Dragon Balls would be used to wish that thing to its perfect form. To that extent, I would definitely also argue that, yep, we would wish for it without the need of absorbing androids. And in due time, the androids will be definitely most welcomed. And of course, as time went by, Trunks starts to hang out with the androids. It's a lot more than, his own family. Heck, even Piccolo doesn't see him as much anymore. Mostly because Trunks thinks that, hey, these guys are, way cooler. But, of course, time during these 7 years, Trunks still does training, but at the end of it all, we still get Trunks starting to get a tad mad that he still feels like a shadow still feels like he's in the shadow of Vegeta, because we gotta keep some drama in there, as if this wasn't sort of what ifery, but okay, I lost where I'm going with that. But Trunks would mainly despises the father a lot, mostly taking his anger out during his training, and of course, Android 18 also helping relieve some of the stress in other ways. I definitely would not recommend looking into it a bit much, because, it would probably ruin your innocence. But overall, Trunks would be hanging out with the androids more, and Vegeta would be still training with Piccolo and his the daughter Bola. And all this would come down to all the way down to the Majin Buu saga, where a lot of things similar do happen, only this time with the androids. Yeah, not much changes with the androids, and the androids would more or less be the improvement, because obviously Piccolo would be dealing with the Majin problem with Bobby, and of course, we would still get the Majin Trunks that happened to the original Love Bug series, because, of course, the Trunks really still dislikes being in his father's shadow. What? And of course, is definitely not interested in continuing the bloodline. Despite having, you know what? I'm gonna stop right there. Because what Trunks and 18 do in their spare time is, well, what they do in their spare time. Joking around aside, it really does come down to Vegeta Trunks this fight becoming more personal. And of course, Vegeta being his father, yes, tries to understand Trunks, but eventually, we still will have the fight, and as it is, and of course, Majin still happens, and a lot of things that still happen originally still happen, but only with androids. Heck, to what say that the androids that didn't get involved in the fight would actually be kind of a missed opportunity. The only difference that would make this time is that after the training for the final fight, or at least building up to it, this time Trunks would be the one to break the Z sword, become Ultimate Trunks, and I guess that would kind of complete his arc about standing out from his father, because now he has power and so on. And of course, leading out to the final battle, which we get Super Buu versus Vegeta, Trunks, Bola, Piccolo, with androids 13, 16, 17, 18, and of course Cell. At least this time during this timeline. So, the fight would still go on how it does originally, only this time Super Buu would be feeling pushed more, or at least a bit more, which would cause him to do even more desperate tactics. And of course, we still get the same scene where Vegeta is basically get impaled by a large building. Even after his new power or trip idea didn't work, and we still get Super Saiyan for Vegeta. And of course, with the combined power of all of these fighters, they basically vaporize Super Buu to never be seen again. And of course, all is right in the world once again. From basically where we are, we're currently with the Battle of Gods arc to Resurrection F. Nothing much changes. At least nothing that warrants a need of rewriting. Although I will admit that I may or may not have overdid it with the Bola getting all gushy over Beerus, so I may turn that down a bit. Unless you guys like it, of course, then, hey, I guess I could still say. Yeah, but when we get to the tournament with the good old Universe 6, oh boy, that Universe 6. Of course, with So with Universe 7, they need to pick their contenders. But of course, it's Vegeta, Trunks, Bulma, Piccolo, and of course, Cell. Because now they have an android that keeps getting stronger the more you train with it. Supposedly. Yeah, because that's Saiyan DNA. Yeah, and of course, Super Saiyan Blue would still be a thing at this point. Our three Saiyans who have the same blood in them, but still letting out the transformation. And of course, it would still go to the victors of Universe 7. Because of the amount of excruciating power they have. But I mean, come on. With the amount of power that's behind them, do you really expect them to lose it all? And now it comes down all the way to the ending of the What If once again in the form of the Terminator power. And hey, it should be easy, right? We got Vegeta, Trunks, Bulma, Piccolo. What, 17, 18, 16, 13, and Cell. Oh wait, we're missing one. No, we're missing literally one slot, so now what? And this is probably where the What If really shifts into a different direction. Well, I say really shifts, but probably not that much. What I mean by this is that Beerus then comes up with the ultimatum of his own. Bring back Frieza. Yeah, and of course, Vegeta and Co. are really against this idea because it is a very, very terrible idea. I mean, come on. This guy tried to kill Vegeta and his two kiddos. So why would that be such a great idea? But ultimately, it comes down to the fact that they really don't have a lot of time, and they don't have a lot they don't have a lot of time, and they don't really have much choice, considering how little their options are. The world, they will probably remember that. In any case, Frieza is brought back. Vegeta still has his meltdown, only this time it's kind of amplified even more because now Frieza's in this, and now it's given Vegeta even more justification because even if they do win the tournament, Frieza is back, and of course, so the deal is if they win, Frieza lives, and it isn't something that Vegeta wants to get into. But of course, it's Bulma being Bulma, comforts him, and we get to move on. And of course, it goes as follows, and we are still kind of going with the usual trope that this What If usually goes for, which is actually, this time, well, all 10 fighters stick together, except Frieza. He's off on his own dealing with other fighters, and of course getting to know them, but still being Frieza and doing what he does best. With that being said, Universe 6 still butts heads against Universe 7. Only this time, I would argue that they all survive against Universe 6, and this would actually be very interesting because almost all of them, actually no, sorry, I meant to say all 10 of Universe 7 is alive, and all of Universe 7 would collide with the all of Universe 11 in the form of the Pride Troopers, to which in this case would be yet yet all members that Fallout Arena. But that is until we get down to the final 3, which will be Toppo, Jiren, and Vegeta. Yeah, of course, Vegeta having to deal with Toppo first is not an easy feat, but doable. But however, after eliminating Toppo, what the same old shtick still happens. As Vegeta gets brutalized, Bulma gets terrified, and all of his family and friends are watching in horror. For Frieza, even closing his eyes or shining his eyes and because heck, even this is brutal. But even softly saying, "Well, it's over. There's no way that monkey can win." To which his family would rebuttal, saying that there's no way Vegeta would let it end it like this. And eventually, sure enough, with one last cry out from Bulma, Vegeta goes Ultra Instinct and handles Jiren. Therefore, winning the tournament. At least saving you the details. Saying that Jiren gets beaten, Vegeta wins. Super Dragon Balls are won, which is made. All of the dead universes are made into one universe. To which Champa, Beerus' brother, were hosts, and of course, all is well that ends well. Except that now Frieza's alive and out there in the Universe 7, so to speak, and of course wraps up in a nice bow with Vegeta and Bulma looking out into the sunset. Really happy that they've made it this far, and of course it just gets off to a nice happy ending with a possible ability that if this story were to continue, well, we would definitely be open to a possible alter ego Bulma, because training with Beerus will get there. And yeah, spoiler, that actually would probably happen if that would be the case. If this would have were to continue. And of course, holy crap, that was long. Those were the two alternative paths and changes I would make to this what if. And apologies but then again, I probably should have apologized at the beginning of the video. For making this video excessively long, but had to get it out there at some point. And ultimately, thank you guys for sticking around if you did. Because holy crap, this what if, but this what if, despite being my first what if, I would definitely argue that this is the what if that I definitely would say I have worked my hardest on, and put a lot of soul into it. Yeah, sure, the original writing does have flaws, but that's why this video exists. To offer an alternative, so to speak. So, with that being said, I am winded, and I am probably gonna have to go lie down because this video is already long. So, with that being said, I am Axel Stanley, and I hope you will stick around for the journey. Like the video if you liked it, share the content with your friends, comment your thoughts down below, And of course, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to stay up to date. And I will see you guys next time, whenever I post again, that is. See you guys around.